Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we'll take a look at why do people leave the comfort of their home country and come to the Philippines. Let's look at some answers and stick around till the end. I'll tell you why I chose the Philippines as my base for the past 5 years. Here's today's question. Someone says, I admire expats who risk their comfort zone in their country just to stay in the Philippines. Why? And the top answer is far less toxic dating dynamics, less toxic female mindsets to contend with, old-fashioned relationship dynamics that work, exponentially more options, friendlier humans, cheaper cost of living, a new adventure, a labor force that can afford for personal needs and business. Everything that person says, I have to agree with. I've been here in and out since 2019, and honestly, for my daily life, all that is true. The female, the relationship, the dynamics, the way people interact with each other is just over, like, for me personally, it's above and beyond. In the Philippines, at first when I got here, I just fell in love with the place and I knew I had to come back. I remember going on my first date with a Filipina, and it was just a whole new way of even just talking to her. I could see the interest coming from her. It wasn't like more of a battle that I see in the West, and she actually appreciated everything I put into, like all the effort I put into the date, choosing the place and talking to her, and everything was just, I felt seen, to be honest. I felt like I was being appreciated even right off the bat, right? So that's something huge. Now, I have never really done business in the Philippines, so that I would not really have anything to add on top of that, but seems like this person has amazing experience, just like I have in the Philippines when it comes to just relationships and dealing with people. The next response is, well, here's the view of our lots. No way in hell could I remotely even sniff living like this in the US, including construction costs and 20-year lease. I meant approximately $568 a month, depending on the exchange rate. And here's a photo of his lot. Wow, incredible. I know in Canada, for me to even go to see some place like that, I'd have to go either very, very far east or very far west. Being in Toronto, I gotta go to BC or like Newfoundland or whatever. And cost is really huge in Canada and the US right now. Inflation's through the roof. So many of us could not really afford to even like come close to having your own home for about $600. That's insane. That's ridiculous. I would love to know your monthly cost. Leave it down in the comment section and take a quick second, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button. Let's get on to our next answer. Another person says, prices are much better here in the Philippines. Eggs, for example, are about a third of price as in the US. Much cheaper to buy or build a home here in the Philippines. Families tend to stick together and don't put their older ones in nursing homes. Absolutely, cost of living is still about 1/3 of what I would pay in Canada if I had the same kind of life standards when it comes to rent, food, transportation, internet. Everything for me and my lifestyle is cheaper in Cebu City in the Philippines. Yeah, I hear a lot of people say inflation or it's getting more expensive. That may be true. I've done hundreds of interviews of people saying that things are getting more expensive, but I feel like we have to remember that's happening across the world, and you still get a lot more for your money here in the Philippines. The last little sentence I liked a lot as well, not having to put your family ones in nursing homes. Right now in my life, I'm not in that situation. I don't know what would happen when my parents get really older and I have to take care of them. So I know personally, if I'm older, I'd much rather stay with people I know than to be in the hands of like nurses or something like that. So I know culturally the Filipinos are very like tight-knit with their families. They're really intertwined with each other, and that's something you have to like consider when you're coming here. If you want to get involved in someone's life, you pretty much have to get to know the family as well, which I don't see being a bad thing. Let's get into our next reason as to why foreigners leave their comfort zone and come here live in the Philippines. Risk my comfort zone? I'm more comfortable here, except for the furniture, I admit. If being here means you feel like you are out of your comfort zone, then being an expat isn't for you. That's okay, but a fact. Most happy expats I know only feel uncomfortable when they go back to their home countries. Definitely. I went back to Toronto back in November, I believe, and I was there for 3 weeks. It felt like an eternity. I couldn't wait to get out again. Everything in Canada at the point where I'm living in my city, and the cost of living, the lifestyle, the go traffic, the nonsense, the schedule. I had to schedule like a lunch with a friend. I'm like, what's going on here, man? You don't got an hour? Like, so things back home for a lot of us can be really chaotic, and we only feel uncomfortable when we go back. I'd love to know your thoughts about that. Do you miss back home? If you're an expat and living in the Philippines, I want to know what you feel like whenever you go back to your home country. If it's a positive, negative, anything you want to share. If you take time to write it, I'll take time to respond. For me, I was driven. I knew I must go here. I took a leap of faith and everything would be okay because I really had nothing to keep me going in my home country. The whole story is much deeper than this. Well, don't hold that on us, man. Tell us the whole story. But personally, I felt kind of the same way at my job, at my career. I feel like I had nothing driving me every day. I kind of needed a change. And a lot of foreigners that come to the Philippines are in the exact same place. They kind of like stuck somewhere. They feel like they're in limbo, maybe in purgatory. I want, like, yeah, that's how strong it is. That feeling of just not being satisfied in wherever you are in life, in your career, in your relationship, financially, whatever. But I would really highly recommend against coming to the Philippines without a plan. Do not come here if you don't have any money. Make sure you establish something online. Make sure you have some sort of investment, some sort of passive income, whatever you got to do. If you have a house, try to rent it out, for example. If you're working for a company remotely, see if they can go ahead and transfer you to the Philippines, or at least allow you to work from anywhere. Whatever you got to do, make sure you have a real source of income, because unfortunately it does happen. Some expats come to the Philippines without a real plan. Yeah, it's a beautiful place, but you don't want to be stranded on the streets. I've done an interview with a British guy. If you guys have seen that, probably, maybe not, maybe you have, but it's heartbreaking to know that you just not plan well for yourself, because yeah, Filipinos are kind and they might help you, but you got to really rely on yourself. 1, here no winter. 2, no woke. 3, less cost, and the most important 4, kind people. All of those are facts in my lifestyle. Definitely, it's more affordable in the Philippines. And the wokeness is one of my favorite things about the Philippines. I don't feel any of that nonsense coming through. Yeah, even with, like, let's say trans people in the Philippines or whatever, they're not overdoing it. They're not all up in your face, and they don't force their thoughts, ideologies, their way of belief, or whatever it is down your throat. The whole feminism stuff that's, like, I think, in my opinion, really overcorrected itself in the West, at least in Canada. The freedom of speech thing, where they force you to go ahead and use certain types of words, I don't think that's freedom of speech. So a lot of the stuff, I don't want to get into politics, but like, you don't get that sense of just wokeness being shoved down your throat in the Philippines, at least not yet, you know? So it just feels a lot more comfortable being a man, being able to just be free in a lot of different ways. Like, I have this sense of just like not worrying about what people might think of me, might say about me. And I don't know, the whole wokeness thing is not there. And of course, the kind people, that's the number one reason why I've made Philippines my base. The people are just like overly, I don't even know how to explain it, man. People are always happy, smiling. They're very kind to me. People help me all the time. I've mentioned this several times if you watch my other channel regularly. I lost my wallet twice, and both the times they returned it to me without even taking a single dime out of it. They wouldn't even want any kind of reward or compensation or nothing. I don't know. People just on a different level when it comes to friendliness. I don't even know where that comes from. If you're a Filipino, I'd love to know, why is that a thing in the Philippines? Why are people so kind? I know it sounds kind of like, I don't know, silly or something, but I really want to know, because there's a big change. There's an obvious difference in the type of people that are in the Philippines compared to other countries I've visited. Yeah, maybe there's like something historical that I don't know about, but maybe you can educate me. And lastly, someone says, I came here for a visit shortly after my dad passed. I was here 5 months, went home to the States for 1 month, and decided this is supposed to be my home. I've never met more kind and hospitable people. I've gained a family since being here, and I would be completely lost without them. I'm glad somebody mentioned, again, the people and how kind they are, to go ahead and prove what I said just earlier. Now, to wrap it up personally for me, why I feel more comfortable in the Philippines, after everything I just pretty much mentioned in this video, a lot of it has to come down to just everything we talked about already. Cost of living, kind people, better relationship dynamics, less wokeness, and comfort zone is really where you make it. It's really something within you. If you're not comfortable in the Philippines for whatever reason, let's say you don't have that much patience, let's say that you want things done quickly and better, or like just faster, and you just cannot adapt to certain things. Let's say traffic is really not for you, or like the fact that the islands are not connected. I don't know, but obviously you came to the Philippines for a reason, right? And maybe you should try to remember that. And this video, the purpose of this video, why I made it, is to give you guys ideas of why somebody might choose the Philippines. Maybe you're considering it, and it's always good to hear a bunch of people's thoughts and experiences and advice instead of just one person. Myself, I can sit here and tell you why I love the Philippines till I'm blue in the face, but it's much better to hear from a group of people. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button so YouTube knows you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow. Bye.